Do you think there's a stigma tied to women experiencing pleasure?
Yes, particularly those from marginalised communities.
That is such a good question. You know what I do, and I think it's one of those really unconscious ones that we're not really aware of. I've had so many of my friends and women that I've spoken to almost feel embarrassed and ashamed of their orgasm, particularly if it's a messy orgasm, like a squirty orgasm, and that is 100% stigma.
I do, yeah. I think there's been a lot of judgment put on women who enjoy sex.
Women, especially if they're very open about it, they can get stigmatized as like they're easy or just enjoy it too much.
Some people have this perception, especially with disability, that why is it that we want pleasure like everybody else? So there's stigma around that in itself.
It was always like a never have I ever question of like wanked or touched myself, and like all the girls would be like, no, never. And I'd be like, no, never.
What do you think about the word frigid?
I've been called frigid and it's really horrible. It's a horrible word.
Women aren't frigid, women just need to feel safe and to relax and maybe to take more time. Yeah, there's no such thing as frigid. It sounds like what? Like you're a fridge? You're cold? No, you just haven't been warmed up right.
It's just another way to put women in a box.
It's predominantly used against women, when we don't want to put out. So I think, I don't think I've ever heard a guy being like, oh, he was so frigid. It's mainly girls when they don't put out to guys.
It's a control thing. It's a way to knock you, because they're insulted by the fact that you won't sleep with them or you won't do anything with them. Because their confidence has been knocked in themselves. It's I'm going to insult you by calling you frigid. You're the problem, not me. So you're frigid.
What do you think about the word slut?
I love the word slut. I am a slut. I love it. But all it really means is we are sexual beings, and that scares men.
Slut can be used in an empowered way that is intentionally subverting any kind of slut shaming.
I think that we should reclaim the word slut. I hate the idea that there's some judgment and something wrong with women having multiple sexual partners or enjoying sex.
I love it. We're all sluts. Be a slut. Be proud to be a slut.
But like, to be sexually free, you're called a slut, I think, in terms
Own
of
it back,
like, yeah,
take back control of the word and be proud to be a slut.
Yes, be proud to be a slut.
Did you feel pressure to lose your virginity?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
I did. I lost my virginity when I was 19, so it was quite old really. But I was a student nurse and I felt like I had to, and I regretted it afterwards, and it wasn't very good.
A lot of people, like when I was in high school, most of my best friends, they all started losing their virginity quite at the same time, and I was the only one who didn't. And yeah, a lot of people thought that was weird, and I actually fell to my face. Or why your vagina must have webs inside it, stuff like that. And I was only like 17.
I was aware of a stigma of a certain age that if you don't lose it by, it starts to become a thing.
I think I actually felt pressure to lose my virginity in a love setting, whereas I was never that bothered. And I didn't have a boyfriend until I was like 20 or something. I just never wanted a boyfriend. So I think I felt pressure to do it when I was in love.
Because of my disability, I felt like I really wanted to experience it so that I know that I could have done, and that whole thing meant that I did it at the first opportunity rather than a time when I genuinely wanted to. I was worried that I was incapable of having sex, and I was worried that I didn't know that I wouldn't be able to compete with other women that could walk. If you see a couple walking down the road and the guy might have his hand on the small of her back or something like that, I spent a long time thinking, oh, flipping hell, I don't think that's going to happen. How am I going to feel connected and close to someone if I'm sitting down and they're standing up? And yeah, I did.